And we're live! Yay! Finally, technical issues have been resolved, and we are on track now. I got my friend Chris here. Welcome to Popcorn Chicken. Last episode of 2023 for Popcorn Chicken and lives for the A&R family. We will be back in 2024 to do all the shows that we do, but we're going to finish off 2023 strong. We're going to have our Rick and Morty breakdown. We're going to have our Monarch breakdown right now. And we got some news. And then Wonka, spoiler free. So we're going to all that going for you guys. We'll start off with Monarch episode 6.
Darth is with us as
Yes.
always. Hi, Darth.
Hello. Thanks, Darth, for always being here with us. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
And I
Again.
hope you're having a good 2023. Right.
Yeah.
End it off strong, baby. Keep that museum protected. He works at a museum. He protects a
Nice.
museum. Yeah.
Nice.
So
That's good. It's night of the museum, right? It comes to life. Comes to life.
yeah, we've already mentioned that to him. He's like, no, nothing really happens
No.
here. I'm
Anyways,
always
I
on
feel
the
like
phone watching you guys.
yeah, I feel like Darth is always here before we're even here. Like he's
Where does it go? He's like, come on, guys, hurry it up.
yeah,
Let's go. Let's get it going.
yeah, exactly.
But we're glad you're
All
here.
right, so let's start off with Monarch. So this
Yes.
is this is episode 6 of the 10-part series. Now we all decided in the last 2 episodes that things have really slowed down for us. We liked the first couple of episodes, but the last 2, which really focused on the 2015 story and didn't jump back to the 1950 story, and we really liked the 1950 story. So at least with this episode 6, we actually get back to the 1950 story. It starts off with Shaw and Keiko at a military dance, and we kind of see this sort of blossoming relationship, which we thought might happen. And we're gonna have to see what happens with that as we go along. Again, we got a jumping back and forth. We see in the 2015 story, they're still searching for their dad, along with their friend May, and they got split up from Kurt Russell, Lee Shaw, but now they're back together with him again.
Yeah.
So I did like this episode a bit more than the last 2,
Yeah, I agree.
mainly because that 1950 story was there. We got to see Godzilla twice, in the 1950s and in the 2015. Yeah, so it was good because the last couple episodes we hadn't really. I don't even know if we saw monsters in the last episode. I don't think we
I
did
don't think so.
at all.
No.
No, so it was nice to kind of get that going. But yeah, it wasn't a great episode, but at least it felt like we're getting a little bit back, sort of on track, a little bit. What were your thoughts on?
Yeah, I do. I agree with you. It was a lot better than the previous episode. Is it up there where we wanted it to be? No, but I think
No,
it showed signs of life. I think
yeah,
that's not just because a monster came to life, but it did some of the things that it's supposed to do throughout the show.
right,
One, show us a Titan and have the story actually propelling forward and filling in all the mystery gaps that we've been told from the beginning. Having both the past and the present in an episode is, I think, very important. I think when you skew to one story all the time, it doesn't work with the show. It needs to have back and forth uh, connection, right? I think it makes the show and the episode stronger. So,
yes,
and
for sure.
I did like the twist of having the I believe what's her name, Duval, the
Yep,
monarch defected. Right? She's basically on this side here, and there's cause of concern on the kid's side. They're like, hey, why should we trust her? What's going on? There's a lot of mystery here. Why is all of a sudden this guy Lee, uh, or sorry, Shaw, old man
yeah,
Shaw, Kurt Russell's
yeah,
older version, why is he all of a sudden just trusting her?
yeah,
Right? What do
yeah.
they have a deal in place? And then we also find out what's her name? The one that I can't really stand. She
Oh,
actually
May.
was, yeah, she's actually in cahoots. And you were right. You said it, you called it out before this even was folded out to us, right? That
Yeah.
she's got something. But why? Why does she have that? I don't understand. What is they're holding over her?
Well, remember she does say something about money problem or something like that, or she had problems and maybe she needed to be hired or something. She needed the money to get out of this for that. So we're not really sure. Um, Yeah, of course, Darth. Anytime.
If you're ever in Vancouver, Canada, just message me. We got you.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
yeah, exactly, exactly. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. But I liked towards the end when she actually told Kate and the other guy, the brother Kento
Yeah.
Kentera, um, that she had made this deal and stuff like that. So there's good some sort of tension there as well. But what I'm really interested in, and this is what I've been waiting for in this show, is some sort of twist, is when Kurt Russell's character, Lee Shaw, says. Um, he says something like, I'm not here to stop Godzilla, I'm here to help him, and it's kind of like, what does that mean? Like, help him with what? Or help
Yeah.
him do what?
It,
So
it's
is that,
it's such a big question,
yeah,
and I'm curious as to it better not be a letdown. Let's just put it this way.
yes,
It better not be
yeah,
like, I was just joking. You think I have anything I can help with that guy? I don't want to hear that at all. I'm serious. If I
yeah.
hear that, that's it for this show. Right?
Well, I'm trying to figure out how do you help like a god, like what does he need help with? Like, is Godzilla searching for something? You know, because he did. There's a lot of the one thing that happens in this episode, this series that I don't quite like. If I saw a massive monster, I'd just be running. They tend not to run away from these things, and I'm like, why are they just standing there like staring at it?
Well, even the helicopter, they're just there. They're not even moving
Yeah,
out of the way.
yeah, yeah,
And then they eventually realize, oh, we should move out of the way. And then they can't move out of the way.
yeah, yeah,
It's like they're almost frozen in time. I just find
yeah,
that weird. I'm
yeah.
gone.
Me too.
I'm gone.
Oh,
It's
me
the
too.
slight move of a rock. I'm gone. See ya. I don't
Yeah,
care.
yeah. Yeah, they did that. They did that in an early episode with the ice monster. Like they're just sitting there, like staring at it. Like they're in awe. It's like that thing could kill you. But, anyways, yeah. So I'm wondering what he's trying to help him with. If that's like Godzilla is looking for something, or Godzilla is, I don't know. Uh, yeah, but hopefully that, like you said, it's not a letdown. And actually, hopefully, I really want the backstory in this story, other than just it's the same guy. Like, there's got to be another connection there, and maybe there's something that he discovered back then that he's got to help him with now, or something like that.
Yeah, I'm hoping a lot of things for this show because I think it really the last two episodes before this one, it really put itself in a hole
Yeah,
where I couldn't even recommend it to people saying that this would be a good watch because it really wasn't it wasn't fun. It was just slow and just painful to get through. It didn't
yeah,
give me anything. And
yeah.
when it did try to give me something, it was just like, yeah, those army guys are really bad if they can't find you right next to you. You're sitting literally 2 feet away from them, right? And they
Yeah,
can't find you.
no,
So I don't know. I just thought the last two episodes before this one was something that didn't work well. But having seen this, it's still not exactly
they
what I
kind of,
want, right?
yeah, they're sort of like that hole you said they're in. They've started to like
They, they're peeking
climb
their
a
eyes
little
out,
bit out. Yeah, or
but they haven't
they've
got out yet.
they found the ladder to get out of the hole. They haven't figured out how to get out of that hole yet. So, and they've got, we're up to 4 episodes left.
Yeah, yeah.
So the next one and the next couple really, really have to not be
They,
bangers, but better. They just have to keep getting better.
yeah, definitely have to get better. It has to get better fast. Like next
Yeah,
episode has to be better than this episode.
yeah. I mean, if they do, okay, so let's think of this way because we've talked about this lots. And we know the show's called Monarch, so it's not about the monsters per se, it's about this organization. But really, if you don't have some sort of monster battle, why would people watch? Especially monster fans. Like, and they haven't really set that up at all, unless Godzilla is going to look for someone to kick its ass or something. I don't know, but
I mean, when he said he wants to help him, maybe the portals have to be closed. I mean, there's all these junctions that they're talking about the map,
yeah,
right? So I'm
yeah.
wondering if Godzilla's trying to close them or is fighting these titans in these areas and needs to get to these places. Like,
Or one is, yeah, like there's another monster trying to climb out of one and he's got to stop it or
well,
something.
I'm just wondering that the Alaska the Alaska episode, where they
Hmm.
saw the portal at the end, and then and the episode ended. I didn't even hear anything about that afterwards.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm just wondering,
But
like, why show us that piece, right?
yeah, well, I was also wondering is this the whole map thing of where the father is
Those are
going.
all the portals I'm thinking, right?
Right. Yeah, that's exactly it. So I don't know. Is there a way like to close them up, or
Is
I don't
Godzilla
know.
trying to
'Cause
close them up with his
yeah,
powers?
maybe he's gonna take a crap in them or something. I don't know. It's his outhouse. He's just trying to
A-
go to the
And
bathroom.
of course, he has to scream at the end, right? Because that's the
Yeah,
Jurassic Park thing to do.
yeah, yeah. Of course, of course.
You gotta let
But
everybody know.
you said this earlier, but it doesn't look like Godzilla ages. Like how, like did they ever talk about how old they are or anything like that? I don't think so.
Well,
Or how?
I did have a breakdown of I can't remember the website, but there was a YouTube channel that talked about the mythos of Godzilla and the Titans, right? And it dates
Mhm.
back over 10,000 years plus.
Really?
I'm gonna find that a YouTube video, and I'm gonna send it to you. But it actually predates before Godzilla and the Titans arrived on Earth.
Hmm.
It's very interesting, but these creatures are very old.
Right.
They're ascendants of other creatures as well, right? So, but it depends on what they're trying to do. Are they going to stick to that? There's so many different versions of Godzilla stories as well. So I'm
Yeah.
just wondering if they're going
Yeah.
to stick to that version or have their own. I don't know what's going on. Like, is it going to connect with the Godzilla movies? I mean, it's supposed to. Um,
Yeah. I don't know either. Like, and
the
are they going to
more the
leave
more
this
we go,
off?
sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, are they going to leave this off for a season two? Right. Every series wants to have more than one season. That's the whole.
Well, the more
Oh,
we go along here, the more questions come instead of the questions being answered.
yeah.
So I
Yeah.
just have more questions as we go along, and I'm just like, well, shouldn't my questions be answered before we go more and more further along? Why are there more opening up? And that doesn't really make it for a good season. I don't know. Can't see this past season one. Like,
Yeah.
what are you giving me that's gonna have my hopes up high?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they have to leave it with some sort of. It's tough for any first uh first season because it's like you want to wrap things up, but you also want to leave it in case it's a hit that people are gonna want to come back for the second. Or you're right. Are they just leading into the next movie? Right.
Well, we don't. I don't even know. Right? That's the thing. Like, there's no clear. Um, I know the movies are connected because we saw John. What's his name? Goodman.
Yeah.
We saw him there, so we know it's connected to the Skull Island storyline.
Yeah.
But after that, it's just like I don't see any flashbacks of any connections or anything.
Yeah.
I thought they would
Well,
sprinkle in connections with the movies throughout the show to remind us it's in that same universe.
yeah. But
No problem.
the other thing is this timeline that they're in, right? The present time, or not the present time, but it's like 2015, where Godzilla versus Kong was way after that, right? And even the next movie that comes, they've already coming out next year, Godzilla X Kong or whatever. That's like way in the future. It's like it's present time, right? Where in the
Mhm.
show, they're still only in 2015, so it's not like they can really lead into anything. So
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
don't know. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to get too much into this because we have so many other things to talk about. But
Yep.
I don't mind, like, keep the back and forth flashback. I mean, time skipping going throughout the show. Please do not remove the old and just keep one timeline. Right?
Yeah.
Go back and
And
forth.
connect them a little better. Like
Yes.
just
Yeah.
connect them a little bit more. There needs to be stuff that happens in the past that relates right to the 2015 story, so we can actually see, you know, like obviously for some reason, with his name with the guy Shaw, Monarch has wronged him somehow, or he,
Well,
didn't
I
want to
like
be a
that
part of it.
part in the past where they went to that place in Japan with the guy on the dome that Godzilla talking, whatever you want to call it, device.
Yeah. Yeah.
I liked how they had it there, and then they show in the future the guys got on the back of a truck,
Yeah.
another version, right?
Exactly.
I like that
Yeah.
connection there. It
Yeah.
immediately pays off immediately, right? So I like that. So we need more of that kind of aha moment. Oh, okay, I know where it came from and what was important back then, and here it is in the future, so I know what's coming here. Because when we
Yeah.
saw this device on the truck, you immediately know, okay, we're gonna see something. We're gonna see a Titan somehow, Godzilla or somebody, because in the past, that's what happened. Godzilla showed up, right?
Yeah.
So it
Exactly.
causes for excitement and connects the past and the present together, right? So we need to see more
Yeah.
of that.
So what would you give this episode then? Because I think last time we were all really low.
Where we were at 5, something
I
like
think we
that.
were like, yeah. I mean, Justin might even give it a
I
three
think
or
Justin
something.
gave it a 4.
Right. I
I'm
think
I'm
I think I was the highest at 6. So
yeah, I'm gonna give this one a 7.
okay.
Yeah, I think it's 7. It had enough to perk
Yeah.
my interest.
Yeah. I agree. I think I'd give it a 7 as well. Again, it's
Yeah,
getting there's some things that I liked about it, and but it still didn't like redeem it, or it needs to do. It needs to just get. Yeah. Each episode needs to get better from here on, for
I
sure.
wouldn't recommend this over the holiday. There's so many other things I recommend before this over the
Yeah.
holidays. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. For sure. For sure.
All right, should we talk about some of the
Sounds good.
news that's happened?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do it.
So Variety and a lot of other what do you call it? Outlets are reporting that let me just screen share here. Warner Brothers Discovery and Paramount Global in merger talks. Woohoo! This is a spicy meatball.
Yeah.
This is good and bad. And let me explain.
Okay.
It's good because we don't need to pay for 2 services. Right? We save a little bit of money. Maybe they'll, you know what? Knowing these guys, they'll just add the 2 in terms of price and say, here's one, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's good in a way where we don't have so many services that we have to keep buying. And at the end of the day, we're just right back to square one. We're not saving any money. In fact, we're probably paying more for the same content. But that's the good part about it, I guess, if they decide to put it together as one less thing to buy. The good thing is this could probably save Warner Brothers a lot of money because they're on the verge of bankruptcy in some studios, right? They had to shut down a lot of projects that the like the Batgirl movie didn't even see the light of day because they just couldn't afford to even promote it, get it going. So they had to shut that down, even though they lost money there. And Zaslav has been reducing staff like nobody's business because they just can't afford it. I don't
Yeah.
know how. I don't know the details. I'm not the accountants there. I'm not the executives. I have no idea exactly where the cash flow is, going. But so maybe the merger will save the 2 companies. Well, I know Paramount Plus surprisingly is doing well. That's a shocker to me. Of all the subscription services, I thought that would be last on the list, but
Yeah.
surprisingly, it's one of the better in
Right.
financial structure. So maybe that sort of structural and managerial advice can be given to Warner Brothers when they merge together. The bad thing about all this, it's becoming a monopoly now, where now you might see somebody else like Disney go, "Uh-oh, like what do we do here? Do we knock on the door of Netflix or Apple and say or Amazon say, "Hey, want to hang out?" Like
Yeah.
what's going to happen? Like because Amazon and Apple, they're the big boys here. They've got
Yeah.
the money.
Well, yeah, because they're not a streamer. They've got so much else going on that I
Yeah.
actually don't think anybody can touch. I don't think Apple and Amazon would go with anybody. They're always just going to be on their own.
Well, this is a write-off for them pretty much.
Yeah.
Right? Is it not?
Right.
Right there,
Yeah.
one is in the cell phone business, the other one is in the shipping business. This is
Yeah.
all just write-offs for them,
Yeah.
right? But I'm just saying maybe one of them says, okay, maybe we just buy out one of these guys and just knock another one off the competition or take all of their because remember
That's
Amazon just bought MGM just not too
right.
far long
Right.
ago. They bought them
Yeah.
out and took all of their IP and said, oh, we're taking it all. So I'm wondering if Amazon and Apple are sitting up going, what if just for shits and giggles, should we just go buy one of these companies and just kill another competition off the radar and jack up maybe $1 or 2 on our streaming platforms because it's extra money. Why not?
Yeah.
I don't know, but
I would
yeah.
Yeah, I would see that. I would see that happening more than obviously Apple or Amazon combining or with someone else, that they would just buy somebody out. Because I think it's always going to be like Apple and Amazon up there. Disney per se, I mean, Disney also obviously has, I mean, let's face it, they've had a horrible year, but they still have um I think they have more going on than these other, because they have theme parks and just their history and stuff. I can't imagine. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But
Well, I don't mean they buy them out because they're competition. I'm thinking they buy it out just because they can absorb more IPs and
right.
maybe do more than just the streaming. Like if Amazon buys, let's say, um, Netflix, let's say Netflix, right? Netflix has a
Yeah.
lot of IPs. They could probably open doors and sell to more markets their products as well. A
Yeah.
lot, right? Because that would allow them to go into other countries that they had agreements with on the streaming side. Say, hey, listen, not only will sell you the streaming side of things, we're gonna have she allow you to sell our have our Amazon app so you can buy stuff for the people that in that country. So, like I said, I don't know exactly what could doors could open up, but I would kind of think that if you have access to other countries, then the more better for you as a business. Um, so that's what I'm thinking that way. And this got to scare Netflix a little too here. This is the
For sure.
small dog in the whole thing.
Yeah.
They don't have any massive backing of any company. They don't
Yeah.
have a tons of IP of their own. They're always leasing from other people, right? Whether it be
Yeah.
Japanese animation or Disney, they're always borrowing their IPs for a term. That's why they lost all the Disney ones because Disney caught on and going, wait, why are we leasing it out to these guys and they're making all the money? Let's just get it all back and do it on our own, right? And then
Yeah.
you see Disney Plus show up. So that's one company that's probably nervous about all this. And then Disney Plus, even though they're a big company, have some big IPs like Star Wars and Marvel, their numbers have been dwindling badly. And that's not because the company's failing in terms of getting the product out there. It's because the internal structure is horrible in who they
Hmm.
hire, who they allow to produce all this stuff. Like the structure is at the core broken. And
Right.
so they're losing a lot of money there. So that's the bad of all this is the monopoly game could get worse. And I mean, the other thing is like Warner Brothers and Paramount could say, hey, because we own all these IPs, we don't really need to bring out things all the time for consumers. They're going to pay our subscription base anyways, and we might just do little by little and force their hand in paying the subscription. Who knows? It's such a dirty game right now.
Yeah.
Right? It's such a
Yeah.
dirty game. I don't know, but it's very interesting to see these two talk. I didn't see this coming. This is pretty crazy.
Now, I don't have any of these subscriptions
Oh,
between
okay, you don't. Okay.
Param No, I don't, because I don't know. I mean, I've trying to. I think I've gotten to my limit of subscriptions. You know, I've always had Netflix and Disney, and Apple, and Amazon. But yeah, I don't have any need for these, I guess. But I don't know. Like, it was almost like, when the streaming wars started, um, they couldn't foresee. It was just about getting subscriptions, right? Subscriptions, and then that leveled off. And then it's like, because there's only so many people willing to subscribe. That's not going to continue forever. And then what do you do? Like, right, you just raise the price for subscriptions, but then if they do that, it's like, well, then what else are you offering us instead of just like
Yeah.
new shows and stuff? Now I know like a lot of them are trying to do theatrical releases too, but I think Disney and some of the other ones, I think Warner Brothers, right, when they were releasing stuff at the same time, I think that was a big mistake, releasing a movie and on the platform
Mhm.
at the same time. So I
Um,
think they've made. I mean,
okay.
it's a big learning curve for them as well, right? I mean, but it's going to be interesting. I definitely see, like, whatever years from now, that there will only be an Apple, an Amazon, and then like one other or two others that are the rest of them just combined.
Do you have another topic to get into here?
I wanted to bring up the quick, short topic that I read today
Okay.
of,
I'll be here in a second.
yeah. So today was announced, or an article about Five Nights at Freddy's, which is still in the theater, I believe. or maybe it just ended in the theater. But it was a big hit based on the game. But the story is that they're already planning to shoot and release Five Nights at Freddy's 2 by next Halloween, which Elvin and I were talking online a little bit earlier, which we think is a bit crazy to shoot that and have it out by Halloween. Um, it's tough for usually. But here's the thing about Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, there's not a lot of obviously there's post production that's got to be done, editing, but I believe how much. I don't think there's a lot of special effects there to be done. So, but still, that's quite the tight turnaround to have it shot because I don't think they've even started shooting it. I don't know if there's a script or anything at this point, but oh, Nathan's here. Hang on, let's let Nathan in. Hey,
Hello, hello.
how are you, Nate?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Elvin is here. He just stepped out for a second.
No
So we
worries.
we've gone through Monarch already, but we're just doing some news stuff. I don't know if you've heard this or not. I was just talking while Elvin was out. That did you see Five Nights at Freddy's?
I did, yeah.
So there's a story out that it's already Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is more than being greenlit. They're trying to shoot it and have it out by Halloween next year.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
crazy. Hello,
It's
yeah.
Nate.
gonna be rushed. Hey, how are you doing?
Good.
So yeah, that's what I was just kind of saying. That it seems very rushed. Now, obviously, when it comes to special effects and stuff, a lot of it's animatronics. So I don't know how much special effects they have to do in post, obviously, but still to shoot anything and get it out in, I mean, that's 10 months away because they haven't even started shooting. It just sounds it's a little red flag to me. It means like they're just trying to, it was obviously a big hit and did really well. And I feel like they're just trying to fast track it through. But it's not a good sign because how can they make uh, you know, they want to make a better film than they did for the first one, but it's always, better to take time to do that than just rush through it.
What if they already
Yeah.
had this in the works?
Maybe. I don't know. They might
To
have.
have a lot of confidence to
Yeah.
already have this in the works.
It's pretty weird to see that and have it turn around really fast. I'm just thinking they already had a script penned. I think they had the actors already, booked,
Yeah.
and they have locations already set up. And now they're just gonna go and film for the next 4 or 5 months, and then edit for the next 3 months, and then off you go, right?
Yeah.
And the buzz, they don't even need to advertise this thing because there's so much buzz behind the first one, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Is there, I mean, it's still based on the video game, but is it like you guys, I don't know how much you know about it, but like, is it like Last of Us where there's stories within it, or it's just a game like that?
I
I don't
should
really
ask my
know that.
son that he plays the game, but it looks like my son did say there's multiple stories. Like this isn't,
Yeah,
There's
it
stories,
well,
yeah.
wasn't a one off, right?
No,
it's
there are
just reading,
multiple ones.
Yeah.
just reading here. It says the game franchise
One
consists of
second.
13 video games and over 30 novels. So,
We're talking
you know,
about
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five Nights at Freddy sequel is
Yeah,
in the works right now.
yeah, and a fast turnaround of wanted out by Halloween of next year, of 2024. So we're just talking about how fast of a turnaround that is for a movie that just is it still in theaters? Five Nights at Freddy's? I think it
I
is.
If
don't.
it is, it's been there for a while. I don't think it would be.
Okay. It made yeah, it pulled in more than 300 million at the box office on a $25 million budget. So, it definitely did well. It definitely,
If people
um,
are going and watching this thing and it costs them next to nothing to make, good for them. Keep pumping it out. Then
yeah,
I had a good time watching it. I don't know nothing about the IP. It was
yeah,
fun. It was fine. It came out the right time of the year too, unlike Haunted Mansion.
yeah.
Yeah. What I heard about Haunted Mansion was that it had something to do with the writer's strike, that they had to release
Yeah.
it sooner,
Yeah.
mess up the timing entirely, which is a shame because it was a good movie.
It was. Yeah, it wasn't a
Mhm.
horrible movie. It was. I didn't expect a whole lot from this movie, and it was just fine. Yeah.
Is there another topic you wanted to chat about, Elvin?
I can't remember now.
You want to go on to the Jonathan Majors?
Yes. Okay, that's what I wanted to talk about. That's why I didn't
Mm.
want to. I don't want to remember him now. uh, so this a divide in the internet right now of what everyone's got an opinion, right? You know, everyone and their mom's got an opinion on what they think Disney should do going forward. There's your one side saying recast him, and then there's a slew of people going on the internet just having a troll day with it. One person actually put down. Do you remember that movie where Robert Downey Jr. is playing a African American?
Tropic Thunder.
They have him inside a Kane helmet, saying that he could do both, play Iron Man
Yes.
and Kang, save Disney money.
That's it.
I was like, come on, really? But yeah, then there's the other side where they're saying just scrap this whole Kang the Conqueror thing and do something else. I understand from both sides why they're saying that. And to be honest with you, I've got to go with just recast. You've already invested so much time and energy, and you're going to affect so many characters if you just scrap this altogether.
Yeah.
People like Loki is going to be out of a job, because his story no longer is relevant to what just happened, right? And then also you have, Kang's love interest. She's going to be out of a job. The ramifications could be huge if you just remove this altogether. I think you've invested too much time. They're asking what you're drinking, Nathan.
It's a bacon milkshake from Five Guys.
Oh, God. Oh, no,
I didn't even know that
why?
existed.
Why?
It's good. It's like a vanilla milkshake, just with bits of bacon in it.
I don't do
Like
that.
cho-
I see
like
people do that. I get it.
bacon?
Yeah, like I don't know if you can see. I'm not gonna try and show the camera.
No,
but
you're not gonna.
It's like little cooked pieces of bacon inside the vanilla
Does that get
shake.
lodged in your throat and you can choke?
No, you chew it.
Even Darth goes, "Ugh."
See, Darth, if you come to Canada, Darth, that's what we'll buy you.
Canadian bacon, eh?
Canadian bacon. Yeah. A milkshake.
Oh. No, I'm not into that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to hear you guys' thoughts. Do you guys want them to scrap it all together or cast somebody else?
Well, here's the thing. I don't really feel like they've built up Kang that much in the hey Kiwi. He was in Loki season 1, Ant-Man, and then Loki season 2, right? But I don't feel like they built him up that it's like if they let go, and even the end of Loki season 2, they kind of ended it that they don't have to continue on. And I think that was planned, whether it was the Jonathan Majors incident or maybe even before that. But they could easily drop the whole subject for now. So I feel like, yeah, that's probably the best thing to do. Because now the next 2 Avengers movies, which don't come out till 2026, the first one was called Kang Dynasty, but now they're just calling it Avengers 5. So they've already actually changed the name of it. But they have time now to
I see what you did there.
what? What did I do?
They have time there.
They have time.
Yeah. Oh, come on. You were supposed to lean with it. I put it on a platter, a bacon platter.
They have time now to introduce someone else until those movies are ready.
Right?
So yeah,
Right.
yeah. What's that? Ezra Miller gets to keep
his job.
Does he?
Even though
Does he?
he's done like 3 times. I mean, we're not here to compare. I shouldn't say 3 times. We're not here to compare the two and what they did. But
Yeah.
it is weird that Ezra still kept his job and his movie went through even after the fact. It is kind of weird, right? So, but what
I
do you,
think it's
Nathan? What do you think?
I just wanted to
Yeah,
add one more thing.
yeah,
I actually think it's really good of the MCU to drop him right away. Like they didn't wait. They didn't wait weeks or months or whatever. It's like, no, he's done.
yeah,
Let's move
yeah.
on. So I thought that was good. Sorry, go ahead, Nick.
No worries. I think Chris is right with what's going to happen, but I do hope that they just recast it because I have been kind of expecting and anticipating this. And let's be honest, down the road, Disney's going to milk just Marvel for a long time. They've built a new the Avengers campus that costs a lot of money. They've got it took even more money to buy Marvel. So I think they're going to try and keep on with like as many villains as they can over an extended period of time. They're not going to just chuck one away, especially when they've invested already many millions into bringing him to light to the general audience that's not familiar with him.
I want them to recast, but we've seen in the past where they've done both. They either nix the character or cast it. For example, War Machine. The was it who was the actor? Can't remember his name.
Who was Terrence
Terrence.
Howard?
Yeah, they dropped him and they brought in John. What's it? John. Is it Don?
Don Cheadle.
John
Yeah.
Cheadle. They brought him in, and then well, this is obviously a different situation. The actor passes away, Chadwick Boseman. They don't recast; they just put it to bed. So they've gone both routes.
And they did it with
Sorry.
the Colonel, who now Harrison Ford
Everett
is taking
Ross.
over for.
Yeah.
Because the actor I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
He passed away as well.
So they've done it both ways. Again, with respect, I'm talking about the Black Panther situation here. I honestly think just recast. Why should we, as fans, be deprived of a good storyline? That's argumental. Some people don't like it. Some people do. Of Kang the Conqueror, just because the actor who plays it decided to, break the law. I think that we should continue. Just find somebody else. Yeah, Howard wants more money. I agree with you. It's not because he did something wrong, but what I'm saying is they decided to just drop him, right? The act is what I'm talking about, right? So, yeah, I think they should recast him. Why not? I want to see him
under this.
Sorry.
Yeah, bring Terrence Howard back as Kang.
Oh man, no! I want Robert Downey Jr. That's it. Save money.
So here's the other thing, though. Kang has variants, right? So now, do they all have to?
Who's eating fries?
I'm not eating fries.
What?
I don't know.
Are you eating fries? What are you?
I'm not eating fries. I'm eating a burger.
Oh, okay.
It couldn't be me.
No, what I was going to say.
You're not eating fries.
Yeah, what I was going to say is, if Kang is a variant or he's got different variants, is it the same sort of thing? So in Loki season 1, when we see Loki's variants, none of them looked like him, right? So could they possibly do that with Kang? Start showing different variants, and then they just have someone that looks different? I don't know. Yes, Nicolas Cage.
Oh, that's good. That is really good. Like that one. Justin would love that. He'd jump out of his seats in theater and yell.
Well, Nicolas Cage says he's only got like a handful of films left, right? He's doing like 5 more films.
I didn't know he had a handful of films left.
Well,
I thought he was already done.
It's not anything that he's been signed on for. He's just saying he would do 5 more or something like that. He says he's getting down to his last few, so maybe one will be in the MCU.
Remember that?
Deprive people of Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Give us Doom.
Mm.
Yeah. The better villain of the two, right, Nathan?
Let's not get into that again.
We've seen Dr. Doom before. We've seen him in the old
I have lots of friends that were
Fantastic
shaking their head when you said Kang was stronger than Doom. A lot of my comic friends are like, "What is this guy doing? Don't do this."
Yeah, plot armor protects them. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah. If you
Magic.
want to see that,
Magic.
you want to see that argument, go back to some older videos.
Yeah.
You can watch these two
Yeah.
Check out
fight.
the argument that Nathan lost badly.
Oh wait, look at this part.
I know one thing. I don't like The Rock in movies. I only see him as the wrestler.
I agree.
Yes. They
don't
better
know, I
not
don't
have The
mind him.
Rock as Doom.
Have you guys seen Jungle Cruise? It was the Disney movie that came
Yeah,
out
yeah.
a couple years ago. What do you think of him in there?
It was all right.
Honest.
It was all right.
All right. That he's not a kind of.
I
He's
thought
not
the
an
ride was
adventure
worse
hero.
than the movie, though. In Disney World,
What? No, I
the
love the
ride
ride.
was
It's one of my favorites.
horrible. It was nothing.
They do change the ride. It used to be a little different, and then they're changing it because they're trying to be more politically correct. So they're removing a lot of stuff. So that might be part of it. You go through and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, it's
The whole lead
not
up
quite as
to the
adventurous.
ride was better than the actual ride. Me standing in line was better because there's so many artifacts and stuff on the walls that it entertained you while you waited. And then you get in the ride and you're like, what? That's it? You just go around some water and a waterfall?
in
Oh,
mind-
yay.
That is one of the first rides ever made. Walt
Yeah.
Disney himself worked on that ride, and it was supposed to be live animals, but the problem was they were going to sleep the entire day.
Yeah.
And also, you can't have lions and then a rhino right next to each other. That's just not good planning.
Or crocodiles in the water and you have a tiny boat you're on.
And you have the kids reaching the water.
Yeah. Exactly. Good
Is it
thing they
still
didn't
the
go live.
same? Have they ever updated it? I've never been, so it's still those.
It still has that 40, 50-year-old feel.
It
Right.
does, but
Yeah.
they have updated it a bit. So it's not supposed to be like a documentary thing. Originally the ride was supposed to be, it would accompany a bunch of nature documentaries that Disney was making. But then they found that the skipper started cracking jokes. And that was really popular. And they turned it into more of a comedic adventure style ride. I find that that's the perfect way. That and the Tiki Room. Those two are the perfect way to start a day in Disneyland. You go down Main Street, and the first thing you do is you get Dole Whip, you watch the birds sing, and then you have a little relaxing cruise, and then you could get into some of the bigger rides.
Mm-hmm. All right, we went off on a tangent here. That's fine.
That's fine. Yeah. So we'll see
Uh,
what happens
yeah.
with Kang in the MCU. But
Yeah.
It's Rick
I don't
and
think
Morty
they're going to
time.
make any decisions right now. Yeah.
No.
All right. Rick and Morty. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Season
All right.
season
Nate,
finale.
did you watch it yet?
I did. I did
And?
watch it. Do you know what?
Did you
I
watch
didn't
Monarch?
laugh
By the way, did you watch Monarch?
I didn't get a chance to watch Monarch this
Okay.
week. I did watch Rick and Morty. It's not one of those episodes that I'm going to be laughing a lot. There's a couple laughs here and there,
I
but
agree.
it was more about, I don't know, the plot itself. It was a bit more serious.
Well, it says
And I
Fear
enjoyed
No
it.
Mort. That's the title.
Yeah, Fear No More. There's so many puns about the names Rick and Morty during this season.
Well, that's what they're about, right?
Well, I know they do that a lot, but they don't do it this often.
Yeah.
Usually they've got a couple other names related to other characters or something else going on.
But this one kind of pulled on your heartstrings.
Yeah, it did with Diane.
Finally gets more attention. It's been a long time coming, right? We always hear bits and pieces about this character, right? And this is Rick's kryptonite the whole time, right? He can't, his whole purpose in life. It's so crazy that he's able to bring back so many people to life. He's able to come back to life himself, make millions of clones of himself, his family, but this one he can't. Right? Did they ever explain why?
She died when he's still really early on in a lot of the tech he was developing. So he didn't set anything up like that. And she also was killed using the Omega device, so it kills her across every universe, every version of her. There's no way to come back.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's able to go through the fourth wall like Morty did, remember? Evil Morty?
like break out of the kind of the Rickverse, the
Yeah.
contained universes. He probably could because he built it. So yeah, I think he definitely could. But I don't
Does that
know
mean
if the
she's still
Omega
alive in
device.
that realm?
Oh, I don't
Or you
know. These are big questions that might come up in next season or
it
two because they
I
always
wonder
have a
if the
couple of
end
things break.
story is he does find a way. Like when they
Like the
decide to
final
wrap it up.
episode.
Like when they decide to wrap it up and call it a night. I wonder if that's his happy ending, like he gets to be with her for the rest of his life.
Ooh, that would. I think that would be nice, but I think at the same time, it's nice just to have Rick and Morty and
We should get Chris
the
involved in
comfort
this
between the
conversation
two.
too, right? Chris is like, yeah, let me
Yeah,
know when
yeah.
you guys are
I'm listening.
done.
I'm listening. No,
What do you think, Chris?
so I actually like this episode. I know what you guys are saying that, actually when you say, the parts about his wife, I actually thought the relationship between Rick and Morty, towards the end there, like you need me or something like that. I kind of liked that. I did laugh out loud a few times. Um, definitely
which
going,
which moments? Which moments?
so I just thought, well, first of all, that guy, right? He's from like the Twilight Zone. Remember the old show, The Twilight
The
Zone?
Denny's, yeah.
Yeah, and he takes that is hilarious, Denny's. And I don't know. There's a lot of there's always these like, oh, okay, the best line, and I think he might have said this in earlier episodes when Rick calls time travel the Long Island iced tea of sci-fi. I thought that was a great line. Uh, yeah. So, and oh no, also when he says, um, in like the movie, You've Got Mail with Tom Hanks when he kills that cop, and Morty's like, he killed a cop. He goes, I don't know, I never watched it. Like, I don't know.
So
There's some
this
definitely,
the show basically the main plot is they go to a Denny's and the guy gives them a tip saying if you want to they're looking for the next scare hype, right? Rick and
yeah,
Morty have been going through the universe and they're not scared of anything. Nothing's really getting their blood pumping. And this guy says, "Hey, go to the stalls of Denny, and there will be a hole, and that'll scare the bejesus out of you." And so
which
Rick,
which
Rick gets
Denny's bathroom's got to be really bad, anyways, right?
well. If you open the stall, it'll scare you no matter what. I'll tell you.
Yeah, yeah,
But Morty decides to jump in, and Rick decides not to. Right? That was the whole thing, and it's so trippy when he comes out of that because he comes back home, but it's not. He's not really out of it. It's such a
yeah,
deep experience because you don't know if they're out of it, if they're safe, they're not. It just keeps going. The whole story, you have no idea if it's real or not, right?
yeah. It's like a dream inside a dream, right? Have you ever had that where you think you're out of your dream, but you're actually just in another dream? So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's pretty deep stuff there.
yeah,
Uh, I just thought, yeah, the whole relationship with the two of them was magical. It was awesome. You can see
Yeah.
really Rick being normal and vulnerable, right? Not up to his witty self, making fun of people and acting like a jerk, right?
but wasn't that so? Isn't Rick the whole Rick in the episode is Morty's perception of Rick? It's not really him, right?
So that's what I was gonna say. Like it trips you out because you keep thinking that's the real Rick
Yeah,
because the show doesn't have a pause there. It keeps going, keeps going, keeps going, right? It's like,
yeah,
and then you find out through all of these events, it's really just Morty and his experience, and it
hmm
trips you out even more. It's just like it's crazy. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's one of those episodes where it does really hone in on Morty's fear. Obviously, that's the whole point of it. But throughout every single season, it's kind of been consistent. Morty is always a little bit afraid that Rick doesn't need him or that Rick's going to leave him. Um, and this is Morty finally realizes Rick isn't actually here. This whole time he's not here. I've been doing this alone. And one thing that really got me though at the end that just shows how well Morty knows Rick is when he actually is out of the hole and he's talking to Rick and they're leaving and he mentions that Diane's in there and he's like, "Trust me, don't go in. You're not going to want to." And then we see Rick so tempted to go in later, when he hears Diane's in there. And
Mhm.
it speaks a lot about Rick, but I think it also speaks about Morty because it's showing like I know Rick. I know Rick really well. This is what he wants more than anything else. It's but I also know Rick well enough to know that this is gonna destroy him. This is gonna be too much for him. He can't go in.
Do we know
Um,
fully that he did leave the hole?
we're pretty confident. I'd say
Ah,
we're
ah.
confident.
What if
Did
they
he
Got
hit
have?
his
us
photo
back
on the
next?
wall.
What if they hit us back next season? He's still in the hole.
They could do something
Maybe.
like that.
I would lose
I,
my mind.
I think the fact that Rick put Morty's picture up, right? Those are the only people that
Yeah,
have ever gone in that it did show that he did get
or
out.
maybe put his picture up because haven't got him come back yet.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a
Oh my
lost and
gosh.
found pictures, missing people's pictures board.
Do you remember the episode where it was a simulation inside a simulation inside a simulation? Helen?
Yeah,
It sounds like that now, where they're just constantly escaping one to find they're still in a simulation. Just it's a bigger simulation.
but this is on a whole new level. That's a whole new level. It's so
Yeah.
I just had a hard time believing when is it real?
Yeah.
Even at the end, I'm like, I don't know if this is real or not.
Well, the most
Yeah.
real part about the whole thing is when they talked about the price of bacon at Denny's. $8 for a side of bacon. That's one part I just couldn't stop laughing. It's just
Is that the reason why you got the bacon shake? You just had a craving.
it was on my mind.
I love this. I love this scene again with the Twilight Zone guy when him and Morty are sitting there and he's going through his whole dialogue and his dialogue, and then the waiter comes up and says, "Sir, you've been sitting here for too long,"
You
and
need
he's
to buy
like, "Oh,
something else.
yeah." He goes, "Morty, you want to share some pancakes or something?"
So the funny thing is, my first job was at Denny's.
No, no way.
And that is so true because we used to have a lot of people come in there and just buy a cup of coffee and sit there for 4 hours taking up a table.
Wow.
And it used to drive us nuts because we would need that table because we have more people coming in. That means more tips, more sales for the store, right? So when you have somebody there for 4 or 5 hours just with a cup of coffee, and it's free refills, so they can literally sit there for like 4 hours and get 4 cups of coffee and just take up that spot and just drive sales down. And he used to drive us nuts. And our managers always try to tell us, try to hint them to leave, right? Like, is this your last one today? How what are you up to today? You know, you have to like make small talks to like get him going and usher him
Yeah.
out the door, right? So that is I
Yeah.
laughed actually a lot because that is so true. That's exactly what happens in real life.
It's funny.
Yeah. What do you guys give this episode? Or is there anything else you want to add?
How long do they like? Sorry, between season 6 and season 7, how long was it? Like, how long do you think we're waiting for the next season? Is it a while?
They said within a year.
Okay.
Usually it takes longer though, but it's because they've got the new voice actors that are just ready to go. They're not a hassle to work with.
Yeah, they're saying same time next year.
Hmm.
So
All right.
that's good.
Hey,
It's not a 2-3 year wait.
we
Yeah.
didn't talk about the post credit scene. They finally brought back. Did you see the scene?
I was waiting for you to freak it out.
I've been waiting for
That's
this
your
guy to come
guy,
back.
man. That's your guy.
What's his name? Poopy. Poopy. What's his
Woo,
name? Butthole.
baby,
Yeah. Finally
I'm
brought him back.
back.
Except,
You guys
is
miss
he?
me?
What does he do? He goes through a porthole and not
Yeah, and he took
throws
the other
himself.
and got his family back, and then you see the wife with the evil smile,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That
She
was
knows
trippy.
something's
I didn't
up.
expect that.
She knows that. Yeah.
Always a twist. Always.
Um, I'll give this one an 8, just because again I laughed quite a few times, and it wasn't. I'm gonna pull the old, the card that I pulled every time. It wasn't as confusing as the other episodes. I find some of those episodes just like I was waiting for that moment. Okay, they're in the hole. They're trying to, overcome their fears, and I'm like, is it gonna like all of a sudden is the hole gonna come alive and like start? I don't know. I was just waiting for something weirder to happen, and it never really did. So yeah, I did like this episode. So yeah, I'll give it an 8.
Okay, Nathan.
Actually, I was thinking the same thing. Nate is pretty good. Had a very Stranger Things vibe to it, which was kind of
Mm,
fun.
that's a good way to put
Yeah,
it.
Um,
yeah,
it wasn't a very comedic episode. There's some laughs, but overall, I think it was just more about character development, really. And I thought they
Yeah.
did a good job. I enjoyed it. I don't think it's the best episode they've done, but it's certainly a good quite a good episode. I think it's fair.
Do you
Yeah, I'm
mean
with you. Yeah.
Stranger Things just because of like the sort of vines coming out of the hole?
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Yeah, yeah,
They go
I,
into the upside down when they go down into it. I know that it's
right,
not actually upside down, but it's kind of like that.
right.
I'm with you guys. A solid 8 for me too. It wasn't the best episode in this season, but it wasn't the worst either.
Yeah.
Um, I yeah, 8 for me for sure. What do you think about the whole season in general? What would you give it?
Mm.
I'll go first if you guys don't mind.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I think I'm gonna give it a 7. I wasn't happy with the season.
That's hilarious because I was just about to say a 7 as well.
There was a lot of not duds. Okay, I'll take that back. There was a lot of subpar episodes where it just didn't move the needle for me. You know, like I never had to turn off an episode halfway through of a Rick and Morty unless I had to go do something. This year, I found myself a couple of times saying, you know, I'll watch the rest later. I just don't have the energy right now to watch all of this because it just didn't, get me going, get me sitting up in my seat. So I just found this season kind of fell a little flat for me. I'm probably going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. And if it wasn't for the last few episodes, I think it'd be lower than that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I don't
honestly,
know. I mean, considering
sorry, I was going to say that honestly, I
I
thought
just
maybe 3 episodes were good. You're saying, Chris?
yeah, I don't know. I was just saying that this was just my first time getting into Rick and Morty, and there was a lot of I was again basing everything on how much I was laughing. So there was probably a good there was certain episodes where I had a good time and I laughed, and then it just went off the scale of like what's going on. There was quite a few episodes like that, and then there's episodes where I was like, I can't believe this is happening. Like I can't believe I'm
The
watching
spaghetti one?
the spaghetti episode.
Oh, that was
Like,
great.
You know, the
like
funny
what
thing is,
is this?
the person who wrote spaghetti episode actually wrote this episode too.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
I can't remember her name, but she wrote the 2 episodes.
Hmm. But overall, I liked it. It was actually again when I compare it to, it was a lot more. There's a lot more going on, a lot more heartfelt at points when I didn't think it was going to be, especially this episode and a few others. But yeah, I mean, I definitely want to go back and watch some older stuff for sure. But yeah, I liked it. I'd give it, I guess there was probably about half 5 out of 10 that I really liked, and the other 5 were either just too confusing or I don't know, I didn't like as much. So I'd probably give it like 7.5 the whole season.
Sorry, one thing I wanted to go back on this recent episode. There was a part about Summer. Summer was jealous about Rick and Morty's relationship, and Rick basically goes to him, Morty is a dog, right? People have cats because their affection is earned. I treat you like an equal because I respect you. You remind me of of your grandmother. So that was such a big moment because Summer's always an afterthought with the relationships, right? But he tells her, you're equal. I actually have a huge amount of respect for you. Morty's like my lapdog,
Mm,
right? So
Well,
I thought that was pretty interesting.
one thing with Morty being referred to as like a dog that I was thinking about is dogs. Excuse me. Dogs love their owners
Yeah.
unconditionally often. It's this deep love, and Rick feels like he just doesn't deserve it. We've
Mhm.
seen it many seasons. He does not feel like he deserves Morty. He'll bash him often, call him stupid, but he does care deeply about him. And Summer, he has this connection. Rick's got this connection with. He thinks that she's intelligent and very much like him, very much like Diane. But Morty is the kid that he feels like he just doesn't deserve. Who's always around, always caring for him, even when he doesn't care for himself.
Are we gonna see her back again, Diane?
Oh, I think so, but maybe not next season. Usually they do like a wait between seasons.
Mm-hmm. But I think this also closes a bit of a chapter on Rick's. Well, not close the chapter, but maybe giving a little more peace of this sort of a closure about what he was feeling the whole time about Diane, right? Having this chance to have some sort of a relationship, whether it was real or not. It shows the show that he has a little bit of closure because he doesn't dive into that hole, right? You said Morty says, "Don't go there. You're not gonna like it," even though he hears her voice. So maybe there's a little piece in there inside him now about her.
Yeah, that's true. He conquered his fear without having to go in the hole.
There you go.
There you go. That's a weird statement.
Yeah. Remember at the end they go back to the house and they're like, "We're part of the Morty's part of the whole club now."
Yeah. And doesn't the sister say something? I can forget.
Yeah.
She says something.
She's like,
something
"Okay, sluts."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, another part that I thought was really funny is when you hear the ducks talking, because I could swear.
Yeah, that was so funny.
Yeah.
Are always swearing when you hear ducks. I'm
F
like,
this,
ducks
F
are
this.
coming.
You too, Bob.
Fred, yeah, it's fine. F you. Yeah, that was funny.
Sorry, I said 6, I believe, right? Did I say 6 for the show?
6.5.
Sorry, 6.5 for the entire show.
Mhm.
Sorry, what did you say, Chris, was your score?
For the show or series?
The series.
Yeah, I said 7.5.
Wow, you liked it more than me. Wow. Okay. Nathan?
For the episode, 8.
Yeah.
For the whole series, 7.
Okay. Wow, both of you liked it more. I did not see that coming. I thought both of you
Yeah,
were gonna
but
have it lower than me.
It's close to yours. It is pretty
yeah.
close.
We were all pretty close to each other in this. So that's interesting. I just expected more. I had so much hype coming into this season. You guys know that I had a lot of hype built up into this.
Oh yeah.
I was super excited, right? It wasn't overall a disaster, but I do want next season to be way better. It has to hit. I gotta have at least 5 episodes next season to be really good. Then I'll be happy.
The new guys, they're kind of finding the pace right now.
They're finding their way, right? They're finding their way through. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What do we got next on Doc here? We're moving along pretty good. I wonder why. I'm just not here. He's somewhere. He's somewhere in the hot tub somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. He said he was going to try to jump on, but I doubt.
He's got Rick's body.
Oh, yeah, that was crazy.
There's a little blur.
Yeah. And then they have that rap battle. Anyways, the only other thing we have to do is discuss Wonka, because we all saw it. So yeah,
the prequel.
Yeah.
We rented a theater out and we did a charity event, our annual food drive event, and the movie of the event was Wonka. All of us was there. It was a great time. Our friends and family there. We raised a lot of money. The food bank can buy $3,000 worth of food now, so that helps.
Yeah.
And then we also had over 280 pounds of food delivered. So that also helps. It was awesome. It was really good. We outdid ourselves again this year.
Somebody won an Xbox. Who won the Xbox again?
My cousin Vinny.
Nice.
Yeah. Perfect. And I got a lot of hate mail. It was rigged. All I hear is hashtag rigs.
Did you get a hate mail from my son?
Yeah. He actually talked to me before you guys left.
Oh, did he?
He's like, if you want to ever put me on the show, try to use my right side. I just like, get out of here. Oh man, it was fun. It was good. It was good. It was a worthy cause, but the movie itself surprised me.
Mm-hmm.
Going into it, I didn't know what to expect. I thought it was going to be one of those, kid friendly, maybe very musical, and I probably would not be interested in it. It was good. I was shocked. Yeah. People were shocked that I said it was good. I think somebody actually fell off the chair. And Dee's significant other was dropped her stuff. She was just in awe that I liked it. I'm like, come on, I have a heart, and I like chocolates. What did you guys think? Did you guys like it? Did you think it was a good Christmas movie?
Yeah. My whole family was there, my wife and my kids, and we all enjoyed it. Um, Personally, I like Timothy Chalamet a lot. This is the first time I've actually seen him in something a little bit more lighthearted, maybe. He's always taken some pretty serious roles.
Yep.
So, he did a great job singing, dancing. I liked all the secondary characters. I think my one wish was that maybe there was a bit more of Hugh. What's his name? Hugh Grant as
Hugh
the
Grant, yeah. The Oompa Loompa.
and even Rowan Atkinson, and just maybe a little bit more comedy here or there. They had such a great supporting cast. Olivia Colman, I mean, she was great as the caretaker of the hotel. But I just wanted to see a little bit more from the supporting cast and a little bit more comedy. But other than that, yeah, I thought it was really really well done, and yeah, I don't know, I really liked it. How about you, Nate?
Excuse me. I enjoyed it a lot as well. I found that some of the little comedic bits just had me laughing. Do you remember the song when they're down in the vaults, like the chocolate cartel of all things that I didn't expect in a Wonka movie, that there's a chocolate cartel that's gonna deal with the Vatican, and at one point they poison people and cause a riot to destroy a store.
Right.
What? This is the Wonka film? Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it was funny. The comedic timing was good for the comedic bits that were there, such as down in the vaults where they had that song with the police officer trying to bribe him, and they just at one point they're bribing him with a lot of chocolate, and instead of continuing the song like you'd expect them to do, and then he goes, "Well, I guess I'll take it." He just goes, "Oh, done." Song ends. They shake hands, and it's all there. Um, and the acting was good, singing was good. I think you're right. I would have liked to see more of the supporting cast, especially Hugh Grant,
Yeah.
because they're Oompa Loompas. They're iconic. Um, and after he left the first time, he did his little song and was gone. I thought, well, that's it. I haven't seen him in ages. It doesn't seem like he's relevant to the story anymore. They just wanted to bring him in and shove him off. It would have been nice to see him a bit more. Um,
Yeah. I think
yeah,
they also except for like a couple little parts at the end, everything you see in the trailer of him is what you see in the movie. Like there's not too much more. So I would have definitely liked to see more of him. And yeah, like I said before, Rowan Atkinson, Mr. Bean, like he's hilarious, right? But he wasn't
yeah.
really hilarious in this movie. He was just sort of the priest and stuff like that. So yeah, but no, I mean overall it was, I like the sets and everything, and the store and just the colors and everything, and a lot of the songs were really good too. Um yeah, was there um I never saw the one with Johnny Depp, and I haven't the one that the original with Gene Wilder. It's been so long since I've seen that. Do you guys recall like any callbacks to those? Any Easter eggs?
Oh, you didn't see the Johnny Depp one?
Yeah. Isn't it? Did people actually like that one?
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
good.
okay.
It was good.
Oh, okay.
I'm
No, I
gonna
didn't
say
see
this,
that.
and this probably might be a mic drop for a lot of people. I think Timothy Chalamet is probably the better of all three of them.
Hmm.
I think he's better than Johnny Depp, and I think he's better than Gene. What's his name?
Wilder.
Wilder.
Wilder. I think he's better than all three of them. I mean, all two of them compared. He brought the charm, man. He brought the heat. He brought the charm. He brought the magic. I believe that he can make chocolates come to life. I want to eat the chocolates, right?
Were you guys itching for chocolate
Well,
afterwards?
I was so mad that I couldn't even. No company decided to jump on the bandwagon of this.
Yeah.
It's so weird that not Hershey's, Purdy's chocolate, or anybody, even Mr. Beast should have jumped on this. He made a goddamn factory in one of his videos. Why didn't he jump on doing the movie and make a deal with them? Like, no, there was no expectations, I guess, from companies to jump on this thing. Did they not think it's going to do well? Because it did pretty well, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that he did a great job. I really do. He is one of these up and coming bright stars in Hollywood right now.
I was just saying that, like, this was nice because I've only seen him in, like, he's in more serious stuff, like Dune and some older ones that he did before. So it was nice to kind of see him in a sort of lighthearted. Uh, yeah, Wonka earns 39 million domestic, 151 million global box office opening
That's
just for the
great.
weekend.
Those are great numbers. What's
Good
their
for them,
budget?
yeah.
Hang on, let me look at what the budget is.
I'm thinking no more than 150 million. If it's more than that, they're in trouble.
120.
There you go. They already made their money.
Yeah.
They already made their money back, and this week is going to be just as big because families are off school and like, the kids are going to go want to see stuff like this, right? I think you're
Yeah.
going to see good numbers this weekend.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's got to go up against Aquaman. I don't know. Are people actually interested in seeing that? I don't know. Like, it's funny how like Aquaman's coming out and you don't even see anything.
See you later.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to see it.
Nope,
So
neither am I.
You're probably right.
I don't even like the guy.
Yeah, I'm sure Wonka will still probably win or stay number one after this weekend too.
Well, there's
sure.
two movies that might take it away next week for sure. It's Migration, the animation.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is Iron Claw, the wrestling one.
Oh, right.
That's getting some Oscar buzz too.
But still, like, this is a family movie and it's Christmas. It's like, I think it's still going to be pretty strong.
I think the acting overall is pretty good from a lot of people. Even Keenan.
Yeah.
I think he was good. You mentioned Rona Atkins. He was pretty good. Overall, very, very good cast. Solid. CGI was pretty good. It wasn't crazy. It didn't need that much CGI, but when it did, it was clean. It wasn't horrible. I just thought the live or very good green screen, I can't tell, of the background of all the scenes was really realistic.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It might be a mixture of both, right? But overall, it was really good. I really felt that it was a winter atmosphere. It was cold, right? And then Hugh Grant, dude, the unsung hero of the movie, right?
Yeah.
This guy, when the movie was taking a little bit of a dip, he comes at the right time and brightens it right up.
Yeah.
Right? He was phenomenal.
Yeah. I like we said before, I just wish there was actually more of them. Like, just, wanted to see some more of them. So, yeah.
Maybe we will. I want to see it too. I want to see Wonka Factory continue.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. Like, I wonder if they would make an actual sequel with the factory and everything.
Money talks, right?
Maybe.
If they hit 200 million, something like that, they'll probably do it.
That would be the first Wonka movie there's two of them with the same Wonka. He would become the main Wonka in the Wonkaverse. I sound like I'm talking nonsense right now. Yeah.
Wonkaverse.
I think they should continue. Hopefully they'll lock them up for 2 movies at least. Because his price is going to go up if they want to hire him again.
But what would they do next? He's got the factory. He's made it. And he's got at least one
rival factory.
Yeah, but he's the best. Everyone knows that now. In his weird European little town that's got no name.
Somebody kidnaps the Oompa Loompas and drugs them. It gets really dark.
It's really dark.
Actually, you know what? That's not the weirdest thing, considering in this movie, Willy Wonka drugged multiple people.
Yeah, it's true.
There you go.
He keeps drugging the security guard, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Security guard.
Or Wonka's dad comes back.
And his dad's a dentist.
No, nutritionist.
Oh.
He's diabetic.
He's That's bad. Come on.
Oh, that would suck. World's
Yeah.
best chocolates. I'm sure Wonka would come up with something that's like sugar free, but it still tastes fantastic.
Mr.
Yeah.
Beast shows up.
Today we're going to be comparing these Feastables with Wonka chocolate. Whichever's
Yeah.
better gets $100,000 to start their own chocolate factory.
What do you guys give this movie out of 10?
I'm gonna give it an 8, just because it was. I mean, it's a pretty simple story, but again, all the elements are there, like you said, the acting, the way it looks, the kind of feel of it. But I also feel like, it's also it did have this sort of it didn't take place during Christmas, but we're in the Christmas season, and there's just something about it that was very family friendly and stuff. So yeah, I'd give it an
Did we
8.
see any Christmas trees?
No, was there?
Oh, no.
No, right? Isn't that weird that we didn't see any
Nope.
Christmas?
But it's winter and it's candy. And the
Yeah.
festiveness
But we didn't
of
even
the
see
whole
candy
thing.
canes.
No, we did.
No.
No,
We
Was
saw
it?
candy canes. Yep, when they were in the new shop before it burnt down, someone, I can't remember who, but someone was making candy canes, I'm pretty sure.
I'll have to go back and check it out again. Okay. But I didn't see any Christmas trees. I didn't see Christmas lights.
Well, it's kind of like Harry Potter. They've
Is it
got
an old
Halloween,
1800s or early 1900s?
like that Victorian kind of feeling.
Yeah.
It could
The era
be.
they didn't have light bulbs, right?
I think it's like Harry Potter, where Harry Potter does have Christmas, but it's also got Halloween and all these other seasons in it. But people associate it generally with Christmas because it's got this festive excitement and happiness.
Yeah.
And this Wonka movie's got that. It's got the happiness, the music, the songs, the plot. It kind of has got this Oliver Twist feel to it.
Yes. Yeah.
And there's just something, at least that we associate with Christmas, with that, with the time period. It's kind of low stakes. Sure, it's his dream, and they tried to assassinate him with TNT. This is the cartel. This is the mafia.
The chocolate mafia. Yeah.
Yeah. But generally, besides that, it felt like low stakes. And that's what I think generally can make a nice Christmas movie. It's everything's going to end up fine. You trust it. Plus, there's candy.
Yeah,
Everyone's
it's
having a
candy,
good time.
exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so
I don't know if I almost drowned in chocolate. I don't know if I'd ever eat it again. Like they
you'd be
basically
traumatized, of course.
they basically almost drowned in chocolate. So I don't know if I'd do
I think
that.
that's the way to go, though.
Is it?
Yeah, possible. I don't know.
Is it?
I wouldn't want to drown in anything.
I want to go have chocolate now. Thanks.
Yeah.
So, Chris, you gave it an 8. Nathan, what do you?
Walking out of the theater, I felt like it was either
Wonking out of the theater? Did you just say wonking?
Wonking?
No.
Walking.
Very close.
But either an 8 or an 8.5, because I'm struggling with which one to do. I'm going to give it an 8 because I enjoyed it a lot. I think it was actually... no, I'll give it an 8.5. I thought about it a lot afterwards, and I enjoyed it, and I was thinking about it in a positive way. 8.5.
I'm right there with you about the grappling between the numbers. Ever since I watched the movie and got out of the theater, I'm just thinking in my head, what do I give this movie? And I'm trying to call back on all the things I watched. And I'm like, how do I justify this number? Like, what are the things? One of the things I want to say is I'm not a huge musical guy because I grew up in a family that loved watching Bollywood, and that traumatized me because it's like every 5 seconds there's musicals in Bollywood. So I'm not a musical guy at all. But I sat there and smiled multiple times when a musical hit because there's laughter involved, there's jokes thrown in there, and it was just not a whole bunch of dancing and la 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 at the end. It was more to it than that for several songs. And so I'm like, okay, if I'm not rolling my eyes on this thing, then that means it's doing something good and unique and fresh. So I'm gonna have to give this an 8.5, man. This really caught me off guard, this movie, and I'm so happy that it did because I just wanted a good movie for the charity event, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, 8.5, man. This year's surprise for me, definitely. This is why we should do our end of the year at January. There's so many movies that sneak up in December, right?
So you'd say you'd put Wonka in
I
your
mean, we
top
already
3?
did it now. We've already done it now.
Yeah, yeah.
But if I was to reshuffle the deck again, this would be almost at the top. I don't know if it'd be
Wow.
at the top, but it'd be a contender.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
you can't be. You still. I watched Spider-Man Across the
I don't think
Spider-Verse
it's
the other
top
day.
3. I don't. Let's say that.
Yeah,
It's not top 3 for me.
yeah.
I
Honorable
can
mention.
definitely, honorable mention. Yeah, exactly.
Right,
Yeah,
right. For
it was
sure.
good. I mean, not bad. We all gave it 8 something, right?
Yeah, yeah. If you haven't
So
seen it, go check it out. It's a good. Like, I think it's a good, not just family movie, but like it has this sort of holiday feeling to it. You know.
Yeah.
I don't mind this I have a Christmas movie rotation at the house, right?
Yeah,
I think next year this might slide in as one of those in the rotation,
yeah.
along with Die Hard, Home Alone 1 and 2. I know, Chris, you're like, nope, none of my household. But yeah, I think this will slide in the rotation with the rest of them. So
Yeah.
it was a good movie all around. It was a good event all around. Anything else you want to add before we sign off for the 2023?
I'd just like to say thank you to you guys for inviting me here. I started back in March, maybe. Seems like
Man, it
so
went by
long
like
ago.
this.
When I started with you guys on this show, it was Mandalorian season 3,
Oh
and
yeah,
you guys had already been into the Bad Batch, so I kind of jumped in there. So that
yeah.
must have been maybe it was April. I can't remember, but yeah, it's been fun. No, don't worry, people. I'm not going anywhere. But
He's like, all right, see you later. It's like-
yeah, you're never gonna
yeah,
hear from me again. No, I just want to say thanks. It's been really great, and obviously thanks to everyone who's watched and commented
we
and
appreciate all of you guys for watching,
continue to do
supporting
that.
us.
Yeah,
Yeah, hit the like
Really-
button, hit the subscribe button if you are watching for the first time or you haven't done it yet. It means a lot to us, those little clicks. Hit the notification bell so you'll know exactly when the new episodes drop in 2024 and you won't be caught off guard because we got things coming, man. 2024 is going to be awesome. There's a lot of good shows they're going to be dropping. The strikes are all over. Everyone's putting pen to paper, making some good shows and movies, hopefully. We got bangers coming, man. I think starting in March, we're gonna have some good movies dropping. So it'll be interesting. Definitely. We might go watch a movie again in the summer, like we did last year. It was fun, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Nathan, you want to add anything before we sign off for 2023?
Just thank you guys. It's been a lot of fun. It's always great to, well, I'd say come out here, but really we're all online right now. But it's
When we
always
go to
great
the
talk
office,
about
it's always
these.
fun, right?
Yeah. I think we've had the chance to watch some great things, including things that I wouldn't normally watch, like Silo, which I rated as my ¡1 TV
That's the
show.
beauty about what we do here is like we all watch something that we might not watch on our own, but then we end up liking it. Right? It's crazy.
Yeah.
You're right,
Yeah.
Silo.
Yeah.
Right? I pitched the idea not even knowing myself if I'm gonna like it or not. Right?
Yeah. And
And
Hijack.
Hijack again,
was,
yeah.
was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually a lot of fun to get back into those. We have to decide in the new year if we're gonna. I don't know if we'll continue on with the '80s, but I actually found it a lot of fun to go back through all those '80s movies that we went through.
We might
It
do
was something
90s.
like, yeah, I have a list, but it's something like 26 films we watched '80s.
Holy
Is-
smokes.
Yeah, I mean,
We
I
got
don't
no
know
life.
how many
We
were,
have no life at all. How
Yeah.
do we get our laundry
Wow.
done?
but I think it's funny because we had more discussions about the bad movies, bad '80s films than we
That's
did
because
choose.
Justin picked half of them.
Yeah, but we did because it's like you pick a good movie, like and we're like, yep, Die Hard was great. Yep, it was great. And then you pick a bad movie, it's like this is bad. Steven Seagal, and it's just yeah.
Who was the guy that kept doing the flips?
I know the backflip guy.
Oh,
yeah,
and Highlander.
yeah, yeah.
Oh
It's
man.
just-
It has
but a
been
lot
great.
of those '80s movies, some of them I hadn't watched before. I'd never seen, and some I never want to watch again. But it was a lot of fun doing that.
Some of them left scars.
Yeah,
Yuki.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to say to everybody, you guys as well. This is every time I come on and do a show, it's a great escape. It's a good therapy for all of us, I think, to have some laughter and get together and talk about, passionate movies and TV shows that we've watched in the past or are watching currently. I want to thank every one of the people that subscribe to our channel. I hope 2023 was great for you. I hope we brought joy and entertainment to you guys. That's what our goal is to do, is provide you information and entertain you, and hope we did that. So if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And anybody that's out there seeing us for the first time, come on in, hang out with us. We are on Monday nights, A&R Weekly. Myself and D, a friend of ours, 8:30 p.m. Pacific time, and then Wednesday nights at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, we do the Popcorn Chicken movies and TV show centric show. And then on Saturday mornings, we do a show called Mighty Mornings, where we go back in the 80s and 90s animation and stuff that we watched as kids and geek out on the nostalgia effect. So we do that on Saturday mornings at 8:30 a.m. Pacific time. And in between, we have news. Me and Chris, we do A&R News, where we drop in some big news. We're going to be going back into the collection action figure reviews. That's coming, and it's going to be really good. We're going to do a lot of cool things there. So I wish everybody, including you guys, happy holidays. Stay safe, and we'll catch you in 2024. Bye
Bye bye, everyone.
See you guys.
That's my chicken.